You ain't from the hood. Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to set blood, ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Oh, I live in the hood, ass nigga. Never got put on, always claiming the hood though. Oh, you fucking with the homegirl, but don't come to the hood with none of your damn homeboys. They don't get a pass. Had the little homies press they ass for your tattoos. Had your mama waking up to some bad news. The plug saying groove, I'm a dime. I was long in the race, skinny nigga with the braids, took a 2-man fade. I'm really from the hood. I took a fucking break to get my money right, but I was banging on the plane in the meeting with Jermaine. They like, poet, oh you bang? They forgot where I came from. I was gang banging when it wasn't fun. Homie doing life right now, cause we don't You ain't from the hood. Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. So, you ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to set blood, ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. And that goes for these hoes too. Start fucking on niggas and throwing these niggas hood up. Ha, little dot dot. Heard you gave a homie head in the trap spot. Got a throwaway in the stash spot. Boy, you not real, like a Sasquatch. Boy, I'm so high, I'm seeing astronauts. Boy, I ball hard, I need a mascot. Poet, and Swahili, I'm a Damu. My little cousin making Paru. My nigga Uzi, he from Five Deuce. Pad blows, I be hanging with some real whoops. Gang signs out the window when we drive coupes. Making money with some crips like it's 92. Banging on tracks, banging on tracks. Back in my days, it was banging on. You ain't from the hood. Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. So, you ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to set blood, ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood.
Fuck Chris Brown, nigga. Pull up in the hood right now, nigga. Catch your fade, nigga. Fuck, nigga. Frogs.
You ain't from the hood.
Holla so the blood starts swirling.
What's up in the building? What's up in the building? What's up in the building? Who up in the building? First of all, we got to give a shout out to the people who made this show possible, who making these shows possible, right? We got to give more donations, right? We got to give a shout out to Nudge, right? We got to give a shout out to Nudge. DP always up in the house. Tom. Go look it up on Time 9966. James Touche, what's up with it, James Touche? Joan, Helen Joan, Courtney Chambers. Good looking out on that, right? But we also want to give a shout out. Why my thing ain't load? Why my damn hold on, my other phone that I can't see the chat. I'm trying to look for my other phone. But you have tuned in. I have cracked another code once again, right? I have cracked one more code, right? So if you Jewish, right, and you might be squirmers to end, like I done the white folks up there. I gave the white folks a disclaimer. I said, look, disclaimer, you know, about the video and all those shit. So I'm giving Jewish people the same opportunity. If you are like anti-Semitic, disclaimer, I am not racist, right? Like I said about the white people, you know, but I ain't got to apologize for nobody, right? But this is not a racist video, but I was telling people, right? I say, look, man, I say, if Kanye West is racist, that means Ice Cube is racist. That means Nick Cannon is racist. That means Michael Jackson is racist. And that means Prince is racist, right? That means all these fools and all these people is racist because all of them was talking about the exact same thing, right? They wasn't talking about different shit, right? They all was talking about the exact same thing, right? But people wasn't believing me, right? So I went on the street. Who sent me a donation? Oh shit, somebody sent me a donation already. Who was that? Samantha Roberts. Good looking out on the donations, Samantha, happy you caught up with the stream. Well, you're gonna be happy about this one. So if it's any Jewish people up in here, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's not on me. I'm not racist. If it's anybody that's a KKK member up in here, go ahead and send a nigga donation because I'm finna do you a favor, right? I'm finna go ahead and break this shit on down like you will see nowhere else on YouTube, right? Why Kanye West was right? Now, right? Now Kanye West got to be careful, right? Because half of the people that was doing anti-Semitic shit, right, is dead, right? And you wonder why they dead. Like, why is these people dead, right? Why is the two people dead, right? And why are these other people is alive, right? Now, you have a thing that you call a threat, and you got somebody you call a non-threat, right? Now, you can be anti-Semitic, and long as you ain't got no power, your ass can live, right? But if your ass got power, your ass got to go, huh? Bill Cosby wanted to buy NBC, right? He wanted to buy NBC, right? Owned by who? Jewish people, right? What happened to Bill Cosby? Got a rape case, went to jail, went to prison, deal fell through, he couldn't do it. Then he got out, they said it was some bullshit, right? Totally fucked him up, right? That's one. One down, number one, right? Body number one, right? Now, we finna get into this Kanye West. Now, you tell me, am I tripping, right? Right? Now, you got to tell me if Kanye West is anti-Semitic, Prince and Michael Jackson is too, because they was talking about the same thing. We might as well throw Mariah Carey ass up in there too. Let's roll it. If you think I'm lying, let's roll it. Let's get into it, right? For those who came to see the dirt, let's get into it.
Jewish children to look at their daddy and say, why is Jay? I want Jewish children to look at their daddy and say, why is Jay mad at us? I want all the kids that love my shoes and love my songs to say, why is Jay mad? What have you done to his people, to the darker Jews?
What have you done to his people, to the darker Jews? Now, you have a lot of black people actually believe that they are the darker Jews, right? Then we got Nick Cannon said on that on TV on this podcast, right, that he was a natural Jew and stuff like that. So you got Jews that are lighter tone, right, are mad at the Jews that are darker tone about claiming basically they rightful place in history, right? And they rightful birthplace and they rightful whatever they want to call it, right? So you got a darker skinned Jew, right? Which is some of these people, right? Kanye claim he is, and Nick Cannon and all these people. Then you got the lighter Jews, right? Which control the industry and stuff like that, right? You talk about them, your ass is canceled.
Overnight backlash for Nick Cannon after these controversial comments on his podcast, Cannon's Class.
We are the Semitic people. When we are the same people that who they want to be, that's our birthright.
To our brothers that had Jay speaking up, that had Nick Cannon speaking up, that had Ice Cube speaking up.
We had a caller from Georgia, Inglis, and he said to you, what would happen if all your lyrics came true, everything you wrote came true?
Well, most of everything I do write has come true and is true today and is happening right now.
Inglis, is that what you meant?
Oh, I was like, I'm saying on the thing about the Jews.
Viacom CBS announcing they are cutting ties with the comedian.
Why? Because the anti-Jew, right? Ice Cube, remember Ice Cube used to have records, right, about Jewish, right? Say all kind of things about Jews, right? Talk about Jews going over there, raping the motherland, all kind of stuff, right? But people never brought that up, right? I mean, they brought it up, right? And they tried to get him for it, but remember, Ice Cube didn't have no power. He didn't have no power, right? So they say like, what about the Jews, right? They were saying Ice Cube was anti-Semitic way in the 90s and the 80s. Remember, he got you let a crew fuck up you let a Jew fuck up my crew, right? The whole NWA movie was about a Jew, right? People thought about Ice Cube and all this old Dr. Ray, Rise to Fame. No, it's about a Jewish dude breaking up a rap group, you know what I'm saying, for the money, right? And they fucked all of them over, right? It was about a Jewish dude, right? Let's get into it, right? Everybody they talking about, from Prince to Ice Cube, right, to Michael Jackson, everyone they talking about is a Jew.
But what about the big ear corn?
Who they have had a decades-long relationship with.
So the people that don't have it are a little, and I'm gonna say this carefully, are a little less.
I'm trying to say things on his album, like Shoot the Jew and all that. I understand where he coming from, but it's like some people might go out and just do that.
You hear that, Pittsburgh Rick? We all miss Michael Jackson and Prince. Please, God, bring back, and we'll give you Kanye. Don't give him Kanye. Kanye finna speak the real. Kanye finna speak the real about the black people and the Jewish people. I'm finna break it down for you, Pittsburgh Rick. Don't give in up on Kanye. Yes, he's speaking the truth, right? Ice Cube had disclaimer. He had songs about actually going out and doing harm to Jews, right? Back in the day, they were saying that was anti-Semitic.
How would he feel if that came true?
Cube.
The only way that they can act is evil. The only way they have to rob, steal, rape, kill, and
fight or flight, okay,
in order to survive.
Cube.
If somebody shot a Jewish person for my record,
No,
is that
if
what
somebody,
you're saying?
if somebody took you literally, took those words and didn't see them as poetry or an expression of general anger and said, okay, I'm going to go shoot the Jew.
Exactly.
So then these people who didn't have what we had, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated people.
That means black people, right? Melanated. If you ain't know, that means black people. He's speaking of black people, the melanated Jew. I'm not claiming no Jew. I'm a nigga. You know what I'm saying? So he can claim he a Jew. I'm a nigga.
Right.
They had to be savages.
Well, I've talked to a couple of guys in NWA. You know, the reason that we were separated was because I felt that the person that I'm talking about on the record separated us.
Right? The Jew, right? What NWA movie was about? How the NWA, Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, and Ice Cube, how they all got separated, right? So people thinking the NWA movie was about Ice Cube and they coming up and how the life and all this old stuff. No, it was about a Jew controlling a rap group. Huh? You hear that? It wasn't about, I tried to tell Dr. Dre, I tried to tell him a long time ago, it was about a Jew breaking up our crew.
And your manager.
The 39-year-old host facing criticism for his comments, also accused of perpetuating an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory.
The Rothschilds, centralized banking, the bloodlines that control everything even outside of America.
And up next, a Fox Wire exclusive.
Huh? What? Hey, y'all ain't never saw Michael Jackson so mad in your life until you saw this video. Mike is hot. Mike is hot at the Jews. Mike is calling the Jews racist. He ain't holding no punches. He openly saying, like, they racist. I'm not holding no punches. So if Kanye was racist and anti-Semitic, you might as well say Michael Jackson was too. You hear that, Pittsburgh Rick?
With the angry king of pop, why is Michael Jackson
Yeah,
taking on the
Samantha
head
Roberts?
of a major corporation?
As the first step to us coming together, like how the Jewish people came together. But we couldn't even talk about, I remember Ben Horowitz called me after 444 and said, I don't know about Jay giving up Jewish business secrets.
Yeah, and I understand that certain people like Dr. Dre, you know, if I get this correct, are finally waking up and smelling the coffee.
And these
waking up and smelling the coffee. About who? About the Jew, huh? The same people Kanye West talking about, Ice Cube was talking about, and Michael Jackson been talking about.
Secrets.
We was talking about building up the properties and stuff like that.
Yeah,
on 444.
these secrets they not finna be a secret no more. Like if somebody tells me something, it's like, yo, I want to tell you this, but it's a secret. I'm like, I'm not your personal hard drive.
You hear Kanye West saying, right? Saying the Jews trying to tell him secrets and trying to tell him to keep it to himself. That's how you get into things, right? He's trying to tell you the secret about business, right? He's trying to keep the secret about money, about contracts, and about all that, right? So they like, we don't feel comfortable with telling Kanye West, right, Jew secrets, right? We don't feel comfortable because what if he tell his people? We don't want that.
Like, if you want to be a secret, don't tell me.
Sony is, of course, his big name record company. At a speech and rally with Reverend Al Sharpton in Harlem today, the gloved wonder charged that the recording industry was a racist conspiracy that turns profits at the expense of performers.
Huh? Michael Jackson said the music industry is a racist industry that turns profit at the expense of performers. Huh? Ain't that the same thing Kanye West saying? Huh? Michael Jackson said they was racist, right? Why do you think they try to silence Mike? Why do you think they threw everything at Mike, right? Look at the shit Mike do. Mike was smarter than them, right? Why do you think Mike died? Huh? We finna get into that. We're going to get into how Mike died and all that old shit, but let's see why Mike died, right? You're only going to see this shit here, right? You're only going to see this here. Why did Mike die?
We must put an end to this racism. Racism is bad. Tommy Mottola made some very racist remarks.
Huh? Tommy Mottola is the racist, right? If you don't know Tommy Mottola, he's the dude that married Mariah Carey, right? The Jewish dude that married Mariah Carey and totally stripped her and drove her ass insane. Tommy Mottola.
And now they're looking for their money. Something that I should have told them to do. Something I told them to do back in 1989.
I'm not here to keep nobody's secrets because it's only the truth that's going to set us free.
Huh? Ice Cube told Dr. Dre them the truth. How you think Dr. Dre became a millionaire, right? Ice Cube said, I've been trying to tell him about who? About the Jew back in the days. I've been trying to give y'all the warning. I wrote radio song. We were beefing and all that. I'm trying to tell you about the dude who broke us up. Huh? People think it's anti-Semitic. I'm telling you, no. That dude is evil. That dude is corrupt. Don't fuck with him. He's taking your money. He's taking our money. He's dividing our group. If you saw the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly how the Harry and Kelly went after Eazy-E and done all that shit. They said he was probably involved in the murder. Huh? But remember, all this happened under Jewish control. I'm not racist. This is a disclaimer. I'm just stating the facts.
And what they do is the Jewish community, especially in the music industry, they'll take, in the entertainment period, they'll take one of us, the brightest of us, right, that can really feed a whole village, and they'll take us and milk us till we die.
Huh? And who do they milk until they die? They take the most talented, right? They take the most well-known, the most recognizable. Milk his ass until he dry, right? Milk him. Who they milk until they dry? They were dry? No other than Michael Jackson.
What he said was to one of the artists who work at Sony. He has a contract with the company, and he called him a fat black nigga.
He called him a fat black nigga. Huh? Tony Mottola said, Michael Jackson, I believe Michael Jackson over before I believe a racist. Huh? The Jew called him a fat black nigga. Huh? So this is Michael Jackson. This is not Kanye West. This is Michael Jackson was warning people in the 90s, way before Kanye West ever was even in the industry.
And it's hard to audit. It's hard to get a...
Who else? Who else was warning about the Jewish people? Who else was warning about the Jewish community and the record labels, huh? No other than the greatest artist ever, Prince.
Counting, and it's not that it's just about the money, but it's about justice and fairness.
I said it's up. And let me tell you one thing. It's like if a black man is caught with some in the car or something, everybody in the car going to go to jail with him, right? But if a black man can play basketball or rap, only he gets the record deal. So meaning like if one black man does something bad, all the other blacks get caught with him. If one black man does something good, nobody else gets nothing with him.
And hey, look, and Prince, if you don't know Prince, Prince was the first artist, right, to make $10 million without a contract. So when Prince was preaching no contracts, you don't need no contracts to make no money, and I'm perfect proof, right? Why do you think they had to get rid of Prince? You can't teach that. You can't teach nobody that you don't need the Jewish community to do your contracts, your distribution, and all that shit. How dare you, Prince? You gotta go.
And when people say that they love you and they respect you, but at the same time take, 80% of your earnings, then expect you to fix your own communities, and they'll probably edit all of this out. But.
Huh? They edited it. Who said they edited it out, right? Didn't Kanye West say the same thing? Like Prince said When you tell the truth, they're gonna edit it out. They probably edit this out. Kanye West said the same thing.
But I mean, all right. I want to be careful with this subject because.
Wait a second, but tell me, could you even really run this interview?
Huh? They say the same thing when you tell the truth about the Jew. They're gonna say the same thing. Can you even run this interview? Huh? Prince said, I'm surprised they might edit this shit out because we're speaking the truth. Kanye, Prince, and Michael Jackson. Who up next? Michael Jackson. Tell them the truth, Mike. Tell them the truth, Mike.
Because Mav didn't run my interview.
Right.
Let me say, I really don't like to talk that much. I really don't. I prefer to perform than talk.
But Mike got some shit to tell you about the Jews. Mike said, I really don't like to talk, right? But when it comes to the Jewish shit, I gotta let you know the real, what they doing to niggas, huh? Mike stepped up as a real nigga, right? And they didn't want you to know Mike was black. They didn't want you to know Mike was speaking out for the black community, for black artists, and for artists everywhere. Guess what? Mike, you speaking out and you telling the truth about the music industry, guess what, Mike? Your ass gotta go.
And then Stevie Wonder's son got to get a job, right? But Cameron Azoff got a job at Apple. He's already set up.
Right? What Kanye West is trying to say, what Michael Jackson is going to say, right? What Michael Jackson is fighting for, you got Stevie Wonder, right? Who one of the greatest artists in the world, right? And his son got to get a job, right? These artists that put all their work in, helping these working companies like Motown and all these Jewish people, right? All these people, they end up flat broke at the end of their career, right? Living in cars and all of those shit, right? And Michael Jackson was exposing that.
Right. Because of the way Azoff is connected, and we have to make our own connections.
Some fireworks today. Of course, Tommy Mottola is the head of Sony Corporation. Multi-platinum singer Michael Jackson is feuding with Sony and Tommy Mottola.
But do you understand why the Simon Wiesenthal Center says, what is he talking about? You know, what is this guy saying? Is he advocating exterminating Jews? People are sensitive about that.
Of course, they have a right to be.
Yeah.
You know, like, because if you don't have the connections, you know, Trump had enough connections to make it into office, but he didn't have the Jewish media on his side.
Huh? The Jewish media on your side. Michael Jackson say the same thing about the media, right? I guess Michael Jackson was saying fake news before Donald Trump was saying fake news.
Anyway, Ken, why do you think people are picking on you?
Well, you know, a lot of people don't take the time to follow Ice Cube's career and understand what Ice Cube's about. You know, I'm a young black man with very strong views, and I'm not the only one that holds these views about the system.
Huh? Michael Jackson hold them views about the system. I'm not the only one that hold them views about the system. What system? The Jewish system in the music industry.
Particularly minority artists. Reverend Sharpton has recently formed a coalition to investigate whether some artists are financially exploited.
Because the Jewish media was already aligned with an agenda with the left, with the Chinese. So you got like Alex Baldwin dissing, you know, Trump soon as he went in, used to be his boy. You got black people dissing Trump. Black people know they love Trump. Yeah. We used to have raps. Guess who the black Trump?
Why was it important for you to be here, and what do you think of the support of Reverend Al Sharpton?
Right. Even though I don't think Michael Jackson knew no better about Al Sharpton, right? How Al Sharpton was, you know what I'm saying, the sellout. But as an advocate, right, Michael Jackson needed a voice because he knew he couldn't be the voice. So he tried to fuck with Al Sharpton, right, to help him out with this because Al Sharpton had a voice. And Michael Jackson said that. He very eloquent. He know how to do this shit. I really don't know how to do this shit. All I'm doing is exposing him.
I think it's important to be here. I'm not just fighting for myself. I'm fighting for all artists. Those great artists who pioneered, you know, entertainment business, as well as songwriting, as well as incredible staging.
What I'm doing is I'm Me Tooing the Jewish culture. I'm saying y'all got to stand up and admit to what y'all been doing.
Huh? What y'all done to Michael Jackson? What you done to Prince? What you done to Eazy-E, right? What you done to all these artists, right? Huh? What you done to them? How you done enslaved them? Kanye West speaking the truth. I'm going to meet to you, right? I'm going to make you see. I'm trying to show you what you've been doing to us. It hurts. And since you're doing that, Kanye West, we're going to silence your ass because we don't want to talk about that.
And y'all just got away with it for so long that y'all don't even realize what y'all doing.
I'm made in America. And what happens is they like to call me racist. But in fact, I'm the victim of racism.
And it's like, y'all can't fuck with me either because y'all behind that gated fence, y'all soft, your hands got soft. You ain't out here getting beat up every day like me. You ain't out here getting called crazy every day like me.
I'm just reacting to the system's racism.
Anybody who act out is crazy. Kanye West, crazy. Michael Jackson, crazy. Prince, crazy. Nick Cannon, crazy. Everybody who act out against that community, right? They end up crazy or racist.
And
or dead.
How could you justify by calling me a racist when I'm just a victim?
You know, the fact that they have been taken by the system, totally broken them financially.
Taken by the system, totally broken financially. You hear Mike talking about them? Mike talking about the same thing Kanye talking about. Go on, little Kanye. I mean, big Kanye.
You know, and this has to stop. It's conspiracy.
I gotta tell you something. Where is a black guy that has a Jewish person signed to him? Point it out. Tell me that.
Reason why it became such a big deal back.
And look at Prince, right? Remember, Michael Jackson is exposing the racism, right? And the financial manipulation of artists, right? And Prince is exposing the contracts and the freedom, right? Of artists, right? So they both have to go because guess what? They two black men, right? Who the Jewish community try to shove out the black community by saying they ain't black and this and shit, right? And try to turn black people against them, right? When they was preaching freedom, right? And one was preaching racism, right? About how the music industry is fucking over black people. They have to go, both of them.
Back then is ever since my third album, I wasn't really taking large advances from the recording companies.
Where's a black person that's signed to a Jewish person? All of them.
You said out there that you felt that Sony was racist.
I didn't say Sony was racist. I said Tommy Mottola is racist.
Who's the head of Sony?
Yeah, Tony.
Tony Mottola, the head of Sony, I say he's racist. So if he's racist, best believe he's high in racist, right? So if Michael Jackson is anti-Semitic, guess what? I mean, if Kanye West is, Michael Jackson is too. They racist. I'm exposing them. Guess what, Mike? You got to go.
Tony Mottola.
I was recording the albums myself in my own studio. So the way I looked at it, I owned the work because I paid for it.
As a human being, I know I can read all the books, I can meditate, I can study and say, hey, I don't have a problem with Jewish culture. I don't have a problem with what Jewish people have done to my people. I don't have a problem with the fact that the Jewish people have bought. I can say that, but I do. And I own my right and I own my anger.
Did you hear what he said? That was real deep. Because in the book I read, you have to express how you feel because lying to yourself is only untrue to yourself. So he's saying, I do have a problem with it, right? And I own that, right? You may say you shouldn't have a problem with that, but he's saying, I do, and I own it. You may say I shouldn't have a problem, but I'm saying I do. No matter what you say, I have a problem with it. Right? And the reason I have a problem with it, you may not understand, but I have a problem with it. I have a problem with the manipulation of black people, right? I have the problem of these slave contracts and all this old shit, right? I have a problem with the manipulation of the media, right? I have a problem, right? You're going to say some other stuff about why he got a problem because of black people that made perfect sense. I don't want to expose right now, but he has a problem with all that.
And I did all the work. I created it, so I felt like it should belong to me.
And I really would like to speak to Rabbi Cooper about that, you know, because maybe, you know, if they're getting mixed messages on that side of the table, I'm kind of getting mixed messages on this side of the table, too.
You ain't out here getting your family snatched like me. You ain't out here half your culture getting aborted like me. You ain't out here getting outraged with false narratives like BLM like me.
And I can't understand, you know, I listen to people like the Simon Wiesenthal and Rabbi Cooper, And am I getting this wrong? Are they saying that they condone what Jerry Heller or some of these other people have done to me?
Huh? When he say other people, he talking about Jewish people. With Jerry Heller, Jewish, right? Matola, Jewish, right? Who Kanye West talking about? Jewish, right? Who Prince talking about? Jewish. I'm not saying, I'm just stating the facts. I'm not racist. I'm just stating the facts, y'all.
Do you feel the recording industry as a whole has been, you use the word sort of conspiracy against black artists? Why do you think this has happened?
Why would the Jewish media push BLM and force people into outrage, right?
Manipulation, right? Hey, guess who else hated the media? Michael Jackson hated the media.
Right. But then say, I don't have the right to my anger.
Why do I think this? Because money is the root of all evil.
You also said out there that you believe that some of the recording companies take black artists' money. We brought up James Brown and some of these others. At the end of their careers, are broke and penniless.
You heard that? Broke and penniless. At the end of their career, all these artists perform for all of these so-called record labels, right? Earn all this money in slave trade, dancing and traveling and singing and recording and all that shit, ended up penniless at the end of their careers.
What is your financial situation?
I'm in an incredible financial situation.
Do they say that it's all right for Jewish managers to get young black kids with talent off the street without without lawyers and without people that was helping me in my benefit to make records? That's what I'm getting out of this.
Huh? The manipulation of black artists, right? With no lawyer, with no representation, right? Just the manager that's milking their ass out of money. What Kanye talking about? The same exact thing.
And I'm gonna keep that anger as an energy to wake me up until it changes. Yo, I'll put my life on this at this point, because they've been fucking with me too long. They put the crazy narrative out there.
Who put the crazy narrative out there on Michael Jackson, on Prince, right? The media, right? When the media want to make you look like a fool, guess what? They'll manipulate the media into making you look like a damn fool. And guess what? They make Kanye look like a damn fool, right? But he's a damn genius. They don't want to express that. You can't be a millionaire by being a damn fool, right? But they manipulate it. Everybody who speak out against this community know they finna get their ass blackballed.
I'm tired. I'm really, really tired of the manipulation.
My Jewish trainer, Harley Pasternak, who's Lizzo's trainer, put it out when I went to the hospital, put it in the press. Oh, I got a bunch of friends that went to the hospital. It didn't go to the press.
I'm tired of how the press.
Huh? How the press? Who Kanye talking about? The press. Who Michael Jackson talking about? The press. Who Donald Trump talking about? The press. Manipulation of the press, right? You have the press that are Democrats and they're Jews, right? And we know what the narrative on both of them characteristics is, right? Now we know why we got all this twerking for little kids in schools and shit. And they, oh yeah, this is cool. This shit. Why do they got a problem with this? Because we know who run the Democrat Party and we know who run the media and the entertainment industry and all that. They from the same party, right? And they from the same religious group.
It's manipulating everything that's been happening in this situation.
They did that just like they did in the documentary on the 3rd episode to say, we love Ye like the rest of y'all. We know he a genius like the rest of y'all, but sometimes you got to turn the camera off on them.
They do not tell the truth. They're lying.
Huh? The media. You got to turn the camera off of them. Michael Jackson saying they don't tell the truth. They're liars. Huh? The Jewish media.
So they'll go and get a dude that's supposed to be my friend that's been taping me the whole time and buy this nigga out for $30 million.
I thought you co-signed that.
I ain't co-signing, but you get used to that. Paparazzi taking a picture of you, you ain't getting no money off it. Right. You just get used to getting screwed by the Jewish media.
just wrote somebody a check for $500 million. But when good news doesn't sell, if it's something negative and that's a rumor, that's when it's blasted.
Hi. How do you feel about the beer companies that pulled the commercial you endorsed because of your anti-Jew lyrics?
Huh? Who concerts did they pull because of his anti-Jewish rant, right? They pulled his commercial, they pulled Ice Cube commercial, right? They pulled Kanye West concerts, Kanye West clothing line, right? If you don't talk right about them Jewish people, right, they gonna snatch your shit. They snatch Kanye shit, they snatch Cube shit, they snatch Prince shit, they snatch Michael Jackson shit, they snatch everybody's shit. Nick Cannon show, they got his shit off. Everybody.
And I'm saying, y'all done poked the bear too fucking long. When I wore the White Lives Matter tee, I had 4 SoFi Stadium shows. They canceled my shows.
I don't expect the press to say anything good, you know.
Well, it
But
speaks out
what
for
I'm
what it
saying is
perceives as
this.
discrimination.
No, what I'm saying is this. You know, every time I watch the news, the perpetrators always identified. If they can't use their names, they identify them. Young black male, this.
Kanye West say the same thing. It's damn near word for word. Kanye West is said in a different way. He said the exact same thing that Ice Cube was saying way back when.
It's a reverse for the Jewish people, right? If a Jewish person could repeatedly fucks me on a deal, it's just them. It's just the businessman. It's not the people. It's not nobody else.
Young white male, that female, this.
But if a Jewish person does good, all of their people eat with them. That's one of the flips.
All I'm doing is identifying the perpetrator who I felt did me wrong.
Huh? Like Kanye West say, I'm gonna Me Too the Jewish people, right? I'm going after the people who done me wrong. Who done Ice Cube wrong? Disclaimer: Jews. You know what I'm saying? That's what Ice Cube's saying. Jews. It just so happened to be Jews.
Nothing else, nothing more.
Triple X, Tupac, that's what Larry was saying. Right. My response was, well, I guess I'm next then. Right. Because it's no backing down at this point. I talked to Cube because Cube been labeled an anti-Semite. First of all, we are Semite. We right. Jew. So I can't be anti-Semite.
Okay, but you understand.
For me to be anti-Semitic in the business that I'm in would be economical disaster and suicide.
The only possible way is for me to early on call out the Jewish media this early, right? Because they'll play nice with you. But I see them fucking with me, like the SoFi Stadium, like 78 media outlets calling me an abuser based off something Trevor Noah said, me being canceled from the Grammys, me being said, they saying that I said a racial slur because I said, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, talking about Trevor Noah. And then they kicked me off the Grammys, and I was slated to win Album of the Year for the first time in my life.
For the first time in his life, they kicked him off, right? Because he supposedly said a racial slur, right? He was supposedly going to win the Album of the Year the first time in his life. But was the Jewish people going to let that happen, y'all? Was the Jewish people going to let Kanye West win Album of the Year?
And anybody in their right mind wouldn't do that to themselves.
So what I'm saying is, y'all done poked the bear too many times. Y'all should have learned with Drake. Y'all should have learned with Puff. Y'all should have learned with Hove.
You should have learned with Michael Jackson. You should have learned with Ice Cube. You should have learned with Prince. You should have learned with Nick Cannon. There's a string of people that should learn from.
Y'all dealing with a different kind of animal here.
Think of Reverend Al Sharpton, and why is his support so important at this time for you?
Because he's an incredible orator. And he is supported by, the public in, I think, a beautiful way. And he understands. We need a mouthpiece, a voice for the voiceless.
We need a mouthpiece. That's the only reason he got Al Sharpton. He wished it was somebody else he can go to. But Al Sharpton at the time was the only black voice out there. Too bad he didn't know now. I mean, well, we don't know now. We know, we didn't. You know what I mean? Too bad we didn't know then what we know now. He definitely wouldn't have been the voice of the black community. But Michael Jackson had nobody else to go to because the Jewish people, right, who hired Al Sharpton to be a snitch. He even said about it in the FBI thing. He snitched on the mob and all kind of shit, right? Who was a hired snitch, right? Who was a hired mole, right? As FBI testimony, as court testimony, right? You can Google the shit if you don't want to believe me, right? Was molded to put Michael Jackson, put in his place. He didn't fight for these artists to get no money, no entertainers to get no money, because guess what? They still not getting it.
You know, and he's the guy. These things are very important, but if you go to the bookstore down the corner, you won't see one black person on the cover.
Look at Mike, mad. You go to the bookstore, you don't see one black person on the cover. Mike was hot, right? But what happened in his last days, right? The press covered up Michael's blackness, right? Because his last days, he was really doing some activist black shit, going into the black community, talking for the black folks, talking for black artists, right? Talking up for shit, right? They had to get him.
You'll see Elvis Presley.
We're talking about the Simon Wiesenthal Center, which said that your album should not be distributed and that people should not listen to it.
It's my 10th album. It's the most number ones in Apple history. And I'm, you know, an incredible artist. It reached at this point, and we don't even know who won Album of the Year. It got canceled by who? Jewish media.
They're not gonna let you win no award, nigga. He got the most number ones in Apple history, right? He was slated to win the Album of the Year, and they canceled it, right? Just like they canceled Ice Cube, right? They canceled the Jewish record company saying, don't buy his shit. It wasn't niggas in the hood saying don't buy Ice Cube shit. It was the record company saying don't buy his shit. Because guess what? Niggas in the hood wasn't caring about no record company saying don't buy Ice Cube shit. Huh? Niggas in the hood wasn't turning on Ice Cube over some anti-Semitic comment, right? Oh, we're not gonna buy Ice Cube album, right? Because of what he said about it. Most of them didn't even hear about it, right? They didn't even hear about it. If they did, they agreed with it. But the Jewish, right, media, right, told people, hey, don't buy Ice Cube shit. You heard what she said? Such and such said, don't buy Ice Cube album. Wow.
Well,
anti-Semitic lyrics would be a nicer way of putting it.
Well, the lyrics aren't really anti-Semitic.
And they manipulate our history books. The history books are not true. It's a lie.
Michael Jackson even said the history books is not true. They lie. They manipulating our history, right? The Jewish media is manipulating history, right? Who you think funding Black Lives Matter? You know what I'm saying? To make them change this and change that, right? Rewrite history. The Jewish, they want history to be rewrote, right? Quick, fast, in a hurry, because they want to be the original victims.
The history books are lying. You need to know that.
For people to think that I'm talking about one man that happens to be Jewish.
And Michael Jackson talking about a whole damn record company. Michael Jackson got a sign that says Sony kills. Huh? Sony kills. Who you think killed Mike? Sony killed Mike because Mike says Sony kills. You fucking up their overhead, Mike. Mike right now, most of y'all ain't see this, right? This is this right here is what got Michael Jackson killed, right? This show, right? I'm telling you right now, if I'm lying, I'm frying. This show right here got Michael Jackson killed, right? This is the most gangster shit I ever saw anybody do in my whole fucking life, right? What Michael Jackson finna do right now. This is the most, and when it's over with, you will agree. This is I'll put a couple of clips in between, but this is the most gangsterous shit. Right? When I get back into the end of it, right? This is the most gangsterous shit you ever saw anybody do. I will promise you that. And when you heard it here first, right? This is the most gangsterous shit and the most gangsterous way, right? Somebody ever told somebody something. I don't give a fuck if it's divorce history. I don't give a fuck what it is. This is the most gangsterous shit I ever heard in my life. Let's get into it.
That said, the companies felt otherwise, and they would always hold us contract up and say, well, you signed it.
That's why when Prince was talking about slave, right? I mixed in some of this, right? The add to the content, right? Prince was talking about how every time he tried to negotiate, they hold up that contract like, oh, well, you signed this contract. That's why Prince wrote that slave on his shit, right? Because he felt like a slave. By who? The Jewish community, right? He wrote the music, he produced the music, right? He wrote it in his own studio, performed in his own studio, right? So he felt like, hey, we should renegotiate, right? They tried to fuck Prince. Prince was a businessman, right? He was a businessman, and he tried to preach that to other artists. Guess what, Prince? You got to go. You can't be independent.
You know, let me just say this.
Hit him, Mike.
The tradition of great performers from, and I really want you to hear what I have to say.
And I say, well,
Mike, like, shut the fuck up. I really want you to hear what I got to say. Shut the fuck up. Mike said it in a nice way. I really want y'all to hear what I got to say. Mike said, shut the fuck up. This is important. Shut the fuck up. Mike can't say it like that, but I can. Shut the fuck up. Be quiet. I got something important to say.
Well, I understand that. It's not like I want to leave. I just want to, talk about this thing and see if we can't make it more fair.
The tradition of great performers from Sammy Davis Jr. to James Brown to Jackie Wilson to Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly. The story is usually the same though. These guys work really hard at their craft.
Of course, they wouldn't change, because if they changed, they wouldn't really exist.
But the story ends the same. They usually are broken, torn, and usually just sad. And the story is very sad in the end.
And that's kind of the situation we're in right today. They're not going to exist much longer.
Did you hear that? Prince was telling the Jewish community and the distributor companies, y'all not going to exist much longer. This was got him killed. When they said he was a slave, and then he broke away, went independent, right, and made $10 million solo without a distributor, and showed the record company and artists that they didn't need the record company, he got to go. He was saying it would be no more distributor. Prince was fighting against distribution. Who owned distribution? The Jewish, right? You got black people own record companies, record labels, all kind of shit. But we don't own no distribution company. We got enough money to, right? But guess what? Prince had to go. Huh? Michael Jackson and Prince had to go for these two speeches right here, right? Prince said it won't be no more distribution. And Michael Jackson say, I ain't going to tell you yet.
Because the companies take advantage of them. They really do.
It's not like we're against them or anything like that. The idea is that we find better ways of working with one another.
And Sony, being the artist that I am, at Sony, I've generated several $1 billion for Sony.
It shouldn't be a situation where they own the album or the work. We're talking about intellectual copyright.
Huh? You hear Michael Jackson and Prince? These are speeches that got him killed, right? He said, I earned Sony billions of dollars, right? Prince said, it's my work. I should own it. Huh? Do you hear what they said? This is what got these people killed, y'all.
Several billion. And they really thought that my mind is always on music and dancing, and it usually is, but...
Did you hear Michael Jackson? I earned Sony billions of dollars, and they think my mind is always on music and dancing, and usually it is. You see how soft he talking? But he's saying Sony got me fucked up. Michael Jackson saying Sony got me fucked up. They usually think that my mind is on music and dancing, and usually it is. Usually it is, right? It's on. But Michael Jackson saying some gangster shit to y'all right now.
They never thought that this performer, myself, would outthink them.
Right.
I'm Michael now. Every Michael you can think of.
Kanye said, I'm Michael now. Every Michael you can think of. Michael Jackson. Huh? Why does Michael Jackson say the coldest shit in the world? They think I was just a performer. They didn't know I was going to outthink them. Did you hear, Mike? They didn't know I was going to So Michael Jackson say, they thinking I'm an average nigga. They just think I'm a nigga. Huh? They thinking I'm a nigga. They try to play me like a nigga. And guess what? I played their ass. Huh?
So, we can't let them get away with what they're trying to do because now I'm a free agent.
But mostly Godfather Michael now. No.
I just owe Sony one more album. It's just a box set, really. And with 2 new songs, which I've written ages ago.
No. I'm Michael now.
Because every album that I record, I write, like, literally, I'm telling you the truth, I write at least 120 songs every album I do. So I can do the box set and just give them any 2 songs.
I'm Michael now.
So I'm leaving Sony a free agent.
I am the richest.
Right. They say you're the richest black man in American history.
In history.
In American
history.
Owning half of Sony.
Did you hear that? I'm a free agent. I'm leaving Sony, owning half of Sony. I'm leaving Sony, owning half. I'm a free agent. And I'm finna own half of Sony. Huh? This, good looking out, Derek of Gaunt. What's that? Derek of Gaunt? Good looking out. Love my video. You love my videos. Donate like Derek the Gaunt, man. Right? But he said I'm a free agent. I'm leaving Sony, and I'm leaving with half of their money. Huh? Do you think the Jewish people are going to let you leave with half of their money? Oh, no, they're not. Oh, no, you're not going to leave with half their money, Michael Jackson. But this is some of the most gangster shit I ever saw in my life. Michael Jackson said, they think I was just a dancer. They think about music, and, they thought I was just a dancer. They never thought I would outsmart them, but I'm a free agent now, and I'm leaving Sony, and I'm leaving with half of their shit. That's why Kanye like, I'm Mike now. Huh? I'm leaving with half their shit. Who the first person to do that? Mike. Who Kanye trying to do that shit to Adidas? I'm Mike now. I'm leaving with half their shit.
What's the story of that, by the way?
Well,
Why you change your name, right? Remember, Kanye West changed his name, right? So did Prince. Prince was the first person to change his name. Changed my name to the artist.
I had searched deep within my heart and spirit, and I wanted to make a change and move to a new plateau in my life.
Every time they say one of my outfits are bizarre. When the last time you read a headline and they called me a billionaire? For 3 years, Forbes wouldn't say I was a billionaire. It's all to diminish me so y'all wouldn't listen to me.
If they're going to be indeed a delivery service, then that's fine. But even FedEx doesn't say that they own the thing that they ship.
Oh, you hear that? Attention 247? FedEx don't own the thing that they're shipped. So all the distribution is the distributor. Attention 24/7. Good looking down the donation, right? So he's saying, I'm going to end the distribution. Prince has to go. Prince has to go. Michael Jackson has to go. He owns Sony, and Prince was teaching you don't need a distributor because the distributor don't own the music. Huh? All they do is distribute, right? I own the music. I wrote the music in my studio. What I need you for? Prince has to go. Huh? You talking about ending the Jewish people's cash cow, and this other nigga talking about we racist and taking half our money? Y'all got to go.
Yeah. Right?
Every time they say one of my outfits are bizarre. When the last time you read a headline and they called me a billionaire? For 3 years, Forbes wouldn't say I was a billionaire. It's all to diminish me so y'all wouldn't listen to me.
And one of the ways in which I did that was to change my name. It sort of divorced me from the past and all the hang-ups that go along with it.
Huh? You hear that, Pete Mosley? Good look on the donation, Pete Mosley. Attended 247. Derek the God. Good look on the donation. Pete Mosley, you hear that? Kanye changed his name. The leader passed behind. Prince done the same thing because he wanted you to listen to him about this slavery shit, about this distribution shit, right? So they had to go. You hear that, Pete Mosley? You hear that? Attention 24/7. You hear that, Derek? Huh? You hear that, Samantha? Huh? You hear that, Pittsburgh Rick? They had to go. And we're finna get to the why they had to go. Don't think I didn't put on how they went. Don't think I left that out. Don't think about how the suspicions behind their suspicious deaths, right? Don't think I left that out. Y'all gonna be surprised how Prince died, huh? You're gonna be surprised on what he died from, huh? But you're gonna hear it here first.
Otis Blackwell was a prolific, phenomenal writer. He wrote some of the greatest Elvis Presley songs ever.
A black man wrote some of Elvis' greatest songs, right? But he died penniless. This is Michael Jackson saying, y'all, how the music industry used people. He died pennilessly, wrote all the Elvis shit.
This was a black man.
Ultimately, it keeps us apart, and it keeps the people in power in charge of us.
The minute I started breaking the all-time record in record sales.
Huh? The people in charge of us, right? You hear? Look at Michael Jackson saying some gangster shit, right? As soon as I start breaking all-time record sales, right? That's when the shit start hitting the fan. We can't have a nigga breaking the Beatles record sales. We can't have a nigga breaking Elvis record sales, right? We got to do something to slow this shit down, huh? Michael Jackson telling you, as soon as I start breaking these record sales, shit started happening because they want a black man in this position, huh? Who? Jews. Who? Sony. Huh? Look at Michael Jackson telling you what Prince been trying to tell you.
I broke Elvis's records. I broke Beatles records.
You can't poison me. And by the way, y'all done already fuck with me so much. Y'all already black mirrored me. You already made everybody think I'm crazy. You already took my family away. You already separated all my friends.
And guess what they done to Mike, right? When you that powerful, right? They do things to you, right? What they do to Kanye West, they try to separate him from his family, right? They try to do all that shit to his family, his kids and all that shit, his wife and all that shit. What they try to do to Mike, Mike finna tell you his damn self.
The minute it became the all-time best-selling albums in history in the Guinness Book of World Records, overnight.
I don't got no celebrity friends because when I was on TV, on Instagram saying, I don't know where my child is, and the Kardashians kidnapped my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address of my child, none of these niggas that want to say something
Travis
now.
gave you the address, though, right?
Travis gave me the address.
Right.
But as far as Meek Mills,
Right.
Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas.
Look, Michael Jackson say, look, after I broke them records, look what Michael Jackson say. After I broke all them records, the Beatles, Elvis Presley, all them records, overnight, guess what, y'all?
They called me a freak. Yes. They called me a homosexual. Yes. They called me a child molester.
All you fake hard niggas, fuck you. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard niggas, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck who, because you can't shoot nobody anyway. And the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fucking fed.
They said I tried to bleach my skin. They made everything to turn the public against me.
Huh? They done everything to turn the public against me. Who they turn the public against now? Right? They got niggas I hate Kanye West shirt. They got niggas telling Kanye West to shut up, right? Who they turning on now? Kanye West. The same people turned on Michael Jackson. The same people called Michael Jackson the child molester and he weird and all this old shit is the same people is telling you Kanye West is crazy, he retarded, he not to be trusted, he's racist. The same people, y'all. The same people.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta come at me, because part of the deal for you to be a do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're gonna go pull my coat car. So y'all niggas shut the fuck up about me. Now let me say it calm. You niggas shut the fuck up about Michael.
This was all complete conspiracy. You have to know that.
Shut up about Michael. Mike, like, this is all conspiracy theories. Michael was saying this is fake news before Donald Trump said it was fake news. This is all conspiracies. They was hitting Mike with the conspiracy. Why? Because he was powerful. He took half of Sony, y'all. He took half of Sony. He bought the Beatles' whole catalog, right? When Nike played Start of a Revolution, the one on the Nike commercial, guess who they had to get permission from? Michael Jackson. Huh? Michael Jackson on all of that. You want to get a Beatles song in the movie? You got to go through Mike. You want to get a Beatles song on the commercial? You got to go through Mike. Anything you want with the Beatles, you got to go through Mike. Start of an evolution.
I know my race. I just look in the mirror. I know I'm black.
Huh? Michael Jackson said, I know I'm black. I just look in the mirror. I know I'm black. But the media say, no, you're not, Mike. You're trying to be white. But the last days of Mike was hanging out with the niggas. But they didn't want to let you know that.
You're not going to back me down until it changes. I'm not clarifying nothing, TMZ. No, I'm not talking specifically about businessmen.
It's time for a change. And let's not leave this building and forget what has been said. Put it into your heart. Put it into your subconscious mind. And let's do something about it.
Huh? Let's do something about it. What Kanye say? West is saying, let's do something about it. But Kanye West was crazy. Was Mike crazy too? Was Prince crazy too? Was Cube crazy too?
I'm talking about you, TMZ. I'm talking about the media also. I'm talking about the entire culture.
We have to. We have to. Because it's been a long, long time coming. And a change has got to come.
I remember when Scooter Braun called me and said,
the manager for Justin Bieber.
Yeah, he said, yo, I got some people who got some early stock in SpaceX, and we can buy it behind Elon's back.
That's the way you go.
And I said,
remember, this is a Jew talking. This is a Jew talk. Let's buy it behind Elon back. He exposing the Jew.
I'd rather have a relationship in Elon's face than to buy something behind his back.
So I own half of Sony's publishing and I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because of it. But
huh? Did you hear Michael Jackson? They're very angry at me because of it. What happens when they're angry at you? I own half of Sony, and I left Sony after making them billions of dollars, and they're very angry at me. This got Michael Jackson killed.
We're gonna demand. I'm me tooing the Jewish culture right now and saying y'all gotta come out and say what y'all have done between the mob action,
between Michael Jackson, Prince. Don't leave them out, Kanye.
What they'll do for groupthink, like if you go against them, I put the White Lives Matter t-shirt and they cancel my shows. And they've actually called multiple people and threatened them to step away from me. They called Candace Owens, they called Tucker Carlson, they called anybody, even the people that was with me when I had the red hat, they called them.
Huh? And Michael Jackson exposing them, right? You got to think about this. Don't be mad at me for reporting the truth. If you're a Jewish person, you know what I'm saying, you get mad at this, I'm not blaming you. You know what I'm saying? They not blaming all Jewish people. It just so happened these Jewish people, right, that's in control of the music industry, that's fucking them, and it's individuals, right? It's individuals they're talking about that happen to be Jewish, right? is fucking them, right? And they explaining it. They talking about it, not me. Disclaimer to all the Jewish people.
I just did good business, you know.
You know what?
That's an important thing to say.
I can't be, but I am, because I'm jealous, because I'm a human being.
And you want the same
and I'm a competitor. I want my people to rise up like the Jewish people.
Remember when he said he was jealous, right? And he have anger? This is why he have anger, because he want black people to be united like Jewish people. It's not, I have the ability to be mad, not mad at the situation, right? I'm mad that your people have something that my people don't have. And I'm mad at that. I want my people to have that so bad. And me wanting to have it so bad, I hate that you have it. And I wish we had it. That's all he's trying to say, but people twist it, you know what I'm saying, the wrong way. Like, I'm jealous that y'all able to do certain things in y'all community, right? As a religion, as a race, as a whatever you want to call it, right? You know, as a community, right? That we're not able to do. I wish we were more like y'all.
I'm a competitor.
So, the way they get revenge is to try and destroy my album.
They say that as opposed to saying it right now.
It's coming now. Let me say it, bro. It's coming now. All right, it's coming out. Let me say it. You have to get to it. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of the fact of how they don't abort their babies. I'm jealous of the fact of how they stay with their wives. I'm jealous of the fact of how they do business together. I'm jealous of the fact of how they read their contracts and understand their contracts. I'm jealous of the fact.
But I've always said, you know, good art never dies.
I'm jealous of the way Jewish people do business. And I'm jealous, not just for me, but for our entire culture. And I believe that once we rise up, that we will have a position to be able to serve God.
Not really, because every time we rise up, one of us rise up, we get killed or sent to jail, right? Especially somebody with power like Prince and knowledge, you know what I'm saying, like Michael Jackson, like Prince and Michael Jackson.
And Tommy Mottola is a devil.
Like Mariah? Huh? Look. Tony, and guess who he was married to? Mariah Carey, right? Michael Jackson called him out by his name. He's the devil. And Michael Jackson's so gangster. Look, Michael Jackson's so gangster, he don't hold no punches. He say exactly why he the devil. And he say he fucked Mariah Carey. Prince also say, guess what? Mariah Carey got fucked, right? They both finna break it down. Prince said more of a braggadocious way, right? Like, damn, she got fucked. She's stupid, right? Because that's the Prince personality. Michael Jackson said it more of a sensitive way. Like, Mariah Carey called my house and she was crying. Like, Michael Jackson, you can tell Michael Jackson wanted to go fuck that fool up, right? And she was crying and she's my friend and we got to do something about this. Michael Jackson wanted to fuck that dude up, right? He wanted to fuck that dude up. She's my friend. Prince like, man, she got fucked, right?
Mariah Carey just had this big $20 million. That's like a huge deal, right?
So you feeling that?
You see how Prince, how smooth Prince was? Mariah Carey got a deal for $20 million. You know what I'm saying? That was a good deal. He like, so you feeling that? Look how Prince look. Like, so is you feeling that? Mariah Carey just got a deal for $20 million. You know, a book deal for $20 million. So you feeling that?
You feeling that?
I'm not supposed to say what I'm gonna say right now, but I have to let you in on a secret.
Say it. No, well, what I mean, I don't understand. What the public sees the word $20 million an album. Well,
please don't videotape what I'm going to say, okay? Turn that off, please. No, what? I don't mind. Tape it.
Oh! Michael is getting gangster today!
You know what? I don't mind. Fucking tape it. I'm on this on social media. No, turn it off. You know what? Fuck it. Look, Michael is gangster. People not. This is what got Michael killed right now. I'm telling you. Matter of fact, turn that shit on. Right? This is what got Michael Jackson killed. This concert right here.
Well, let's see. Do you all think that's a good deal?
What? I mean, tell me why. I mean, what am I missing? Yeah.
Mariah Carey, after divorcing Tony, came to me crying. She was crying so bad I had to hold her.
Mike wanted to fuck that dude up. She was crying to me so bad. You know Mike is a gangster. Y'all think, don't let this soft voice fool you. Mariah Carey didn't call Michael Jackson for nothing. She could have called anybody in the music industry. She could have called some nigga with the muscles. She could have called Wesley Snipes. She could have called one of these rap niggas. She called Mike. You know, Mike, this nigga tripping. Oh, I'll be on my way over there. Mike was finna get in that ass.
Okay, let's do some math.
Okay.
If
You do math like that?
kinda. If you sign me,
Okay.
you signed me to a record company or a record deal, let's suppose you have a record company.
Right.
How much would you give me? The album sells for $18, right? $18.
Whatever, yeah.
All right. How much of that would you give me?
She said to me that this is an evil man.
Well, I don't know how it works.
Well, no. Half? Half sound good? Yeah. All right.
And Michael, this man follows me, she said. He taps her phones. And he's very, very evil, and she doesn't trust him.
Check this out. If I sell 1 million copies, I'm going to have $10 million, right? Roughly $10 million.
Right.
If I sell 2 million copies, I got $20 million.
Right.
If I just sell 3 million copies, I got $30 million. Now who has the biggest record deal?
And he is a horrible human being. And we have to continue our drive until he's terminated.
Look at Michael Jackson. That nigga said until he terminated. Michael Jackson ain't playing. He said he's tapping the phone, you know what I'm saying? Following her around. He's doing all kind of shit, right? Said Michael Jackson, this nigga's crazy. We got to do something about it. Mike said, look, man, we got to keep on until this nigga's terminated. Look at Mike. Mike ain't playing, right? Mike said, I'm finna get that nigga ass. We gonna have to get that nigga ass. I'm telling you. We can't be, this nigga fucking with the homegirl Mariah Carey. We got to get off of that nigga ass. You know, she knew who to call. She could have called anybody in the world. She called Michael Jackson. Huh? This Jew nigga tripping. The nigga you been beefing with, he tripping. That nigga said he evil. Michael Jackson not holding no punches. He calling niggas out by name. He like, if he was a rapper, this would be dissing. Like, this would be a diss record. If Michael Jackson was a rapper, this would be a diss record. I'm calling out this nigga. He hit the homegirl, you know what I'm saying? He was an evil motherfucker. Huh? The homegirl said he was evil. I'm riding with the homegirl. We gotta terminate this fool.
Oh! There you go! Oh, I see. Yeah, right. Okay.
Right? So Mariah kind of got screwed.
By her husband. Who she got screwed by? She got screwed by her husband. He screwed her in 2 ways, huh? He screwed her in 2 ways. Mariah kind of got screwed by her husband.
We can't allow him to do this to great artistry. We just can't.
So ultimately, we're going to have to learn how to be together and become one people.
Hold our torches high and get the respect that we deserve.
Wait, we got, my bad, I accidentally pushed pause on the damn thing, right? I accidentally pushed, wait, we got to turn up the value. Pump up the value. Michael Jackson is saying, right, we got to terminate this nigga. Get this nigga off the set.
Now, you can't call me anti-Semitic for saying I'm going DEFCON 3.
I think what you said though is important though.
That sounds pretty anti-Semitic, except for the fact that I am Jew.
And you said you can't be mad at them because you want to do the same.
Please don't put this in your heart today and forget it tomorrow. Because we would have not accomplished our purpose. We will have not accomplished our purpose if that happens. This has got to stop.
Huh? You hear Michael Jackson? This has got to stop. The manipulation of black people, especially minorities by Jewish people in the industry, got to stop.
It's got to stop. That's why I'm here with the best, to make sure it stops.
So some of the stuff, I'm the first person that's saying it.
Right.
Or Candace Owens is the first person that's saying it.
Right.
Then another person sees it and say, I kind of feel you. Floyd Mayweather might say, oh, I feel you. And then Steve Harvey might say, I feel where you're coming from.
You wasn't the first, nigga. Michael Jackson and Prince was the first. You called it out a little bit harsh than they did, but Michael Jackson was the first, nigga.
There's a lot of black conservatives. You know, the liberal agenda is to take God out of the homes and separate the families.
What I've been doing recently is studying the scriptures as deep as I can.
With that, you're gonna get mayhem. You're gonna get Mad Max on the other side. The conservative agenda is still that God runs the world.
And remember, they try to say Prince worshiped the devil and all this old stuff. Prince was advocating the Bible. But they try to make Prince, oh, that's why he wear purple and he the devil. He wear all them sexual explicit clothes and all this other shit because he a devil worshiper. Remember that? Prince was telling people, look into the Bible.
So that that's what gives me the optimism. And I would advise anybody, if you want to feel like there's some hope in this joint.
And I'm Christian, and I feel like I got the best taste on the planet. So that's Jesus. I'm Jesus gang.
I mean, pick up the book and like read it and get somebody to actually show you what's going on in it, because it's a real thing.
But still, I promise you, the best is yet to come.
We should degrade the rich. Everybody is dirt. Everybody on the same level beneath God.
You don't hear a lot of young people talking about things like I talk about because they really haven't lived. They haven't gone through a lot of experiences yet. And we can't really expect them to.
And you can tag you want. You can call me a racist. You can call me everything already. Right. What I got to lose? My 6-year-old son came to choir practice and said, why I gotta sing? I'm not even going to your school.
If you saw his kids is bad as fuck. And you know why? Because Kanye told the truth. They took the man out the house. He's the discipline. When you take the man out the house and the woman's in charge, right? And the woman is liberal-minded, shit like that, the kids suffer. They disrespecting Kim all on camera and shit, you know what I'm saying? Being bad as hell, exposing her, right? She got to go through counseling and all this other shit for her kids, right? Because they took the man out the home.
It's just not all a party, you know, alcoholism and promiscuity.
This is a billionaire a male billionaire with the face of Kim Kardashian. If he's saying that to me now, who is he at 16?
Get some elders up in here and let's talk about all this. Distribution service. I mean, what do we really need record companies for?
Who is he at 26?
Did you hear, Prince? What do we really need record companies for? He had to go. He had to go. What do we need records company for? Huh? The liberals saying, what do we need fathers for? Right? The same thing. They preaching, right? We don't need men in the house. We don't need God in the kid's life. We don't need a man or we don't need God. That's a bad combination to have for kids. God or no father figure? Not either father figure?
By 26, he might be in jail because I can't say nothing to him because they took me out the house.
Huh? I can't say nothing to him. So if he that bad right now, imagine when he's 60, 26. I can't say nothing to him because they took me out the house. Right? That's bad. That's bad for a black kid. They took the father out the house and they took God out the house.
I mean, really.
That's more valuable to you.
Now, my thing is like, look, all Jewish people are not bad.
Please say that.
I just said it.
If this man was green, then I would still talk about it. If he was black, I would still talk about him.
I guess what hurts Jewish people is the fact that you have to say he's Jewish. Why not just say Jerry Heller?
Kim is a Christian. On TMZ, I just saw yesterday, they said Pete Davidson and Kim have sex by the fireplace to honor their grandmother.
That's not what Christians do. That's not what Christians do, right? So when he point out certain things and certain religious practices and stuff like that, just like Ice Cube do, right? They call racist, right? Why you just can't point them out? Why you can't point out the person? Because the people who got control over all these distribution companies, which Prince said we don't need, just happen to be of Jewish descent.
Well,
you know, what you end up doing is saying, okay, this guy's a Jew, and you just sort of said it in your answer.
It's Jewish Zionists that's about that life, that's telling this Christian woman that has 4 black children to put that out as a message in the media.
To this young man, you said, well, are they, as the Simon Wiesenthal Center, saying it's okay for people like Jerry Heller and Jewish managers to essentially exploit young black men?
So
You hear that? You hear that? School of the world. You're looking down the donation, School of the world, right? Exploiting young black men. So when Kanye West talked about it, what's the difference? Ice-T was talking about it years ago. They've been doing this for years. It ain't just it started happening. They just start fucking black people within the last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. It's been 40 years because that's when Jerry Helen, you know what I'm saying, was doing this shit back in the 80s. Right? When this fucking NWA and these rap groups in LA. Back in 91, 92, 89. Right? Getting money out of these black people. You saw the movie. You saw the movie. You saw how he was breaking up the group. And you saw all the conversations they was having about this man. Right? You see how he totally took all their money. You saw how all of them ended up broke. Especially NWA. Not Ice Cube, who left the group. Not Dr. Dre, who left the group. Everybody else that was in the group went broke. He got their ass for all their money. Everybody else was bankrupt. Easy Record Company went down. Everybody from his son ain't really a rapper no more. His son trying to rap. His son ain't got no money. All the shit Easy done for hip hop. I interviewed his son on the show. His son couldn't even play his own father. His son couldn't even play his own father in a damn movie. He couldn't play his own damn father. Good looking out on Salted Refried Bean. Good looking out. This video is so gangsta. That's because Ice Cube is so gangsta. That's because Prince is so gangsta. That's because Michael Jackson is so gangsta. Let's get into it.
Drive by and I see the Hulu ads and I say the JP Chase Morgan ads, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, the devil is a defeated foe.
Those magazines to keep me off the cover and out of their magazine, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to preach freedom.
You hear that? Was that Blake? I have to listen to Payday, Monsanto sometime. Listen to Black Rosebud all the time. Huh? You hear Prince say they might as well keep my shit off of there because it's manipulation. Prince finna expose their ass.
I don't think anybody would say that, but the question, is it okay for Jerry Heller and Jewish managers?
All right, and I'm going to preach the annihilation of contracts.
Is every manager who is white Jewish? Is every manager of a rap?
No.
You hear that? I'm going to annihilate all contracts. Did you hear what Prince said? I'm going to annihilate all contracts, right? And did you hear what this lady said, right? All the Jewish people, all the the executives and stuff like that. You mean to tell me Prince, right? If he was to get this through and he was to teach artists how to be independent and make their own money and not to deal with a distribution company, right? Ain't nobody else preaching that shit right now. Ain't no artist talking about no distribution company right now, right? This is why Prince had to go. This is why he had to go.
Not at all, but the Simon Wiesenthal usually backs the Jewish community.
All right, and see, without contracts, you ain't gonna need lawyers because nobody's gonna be in court.
A Jewish lawyer, that is. Who the lawyers? The Jewish lawyers. The Jews are the lawyers. The Jews are the executive, right? You're gonna get a Jewish lawyer, most likely, right? So Prince saying you don't need no lawyers, you don't need no contracts. He tried to annihilate the whole Jewish piggy bank. Then he had to go.
Arguing about money, which has no power, ultimately.
So for all the Jewish media, y'all want to sit down and have a conversation with me? Then let's have a conversation. But you ain't gonna send Harley Pasternak, Puff Daddy, Meek Mills, Kim Kardashian, none of the usual suspects and get me to stop talking. You're going to have to take my life.
And they surely, you hear what Kanye, I mean, listen to what Kanye was saying. You're going to have to take my life. Who life did they take? Right? For speaking out against this, right? For speaking out, who life did they take? Remember, Prince, multi-millionaire. Michael Jackson, multi-millionaire. Right? Right? Own half of Sony. Right? Kanye West damn near own half of Adidas and all this old shit. But he's a billionaire. Right? These two people that tried to change the record industry and expose the record industry and was powerful voices in the black community about the record industry, these people, two people are dead. Kanye West said, you're going to have to take my life. You don't think they'll do it?
How do you think he died? You've been quoted as saying you believe it may have been murder. Do you still think that?
Absolutely. And by the way, and if you take my life, there's gonna be some college kid, some young Ye, some young Pac that's gonna even go harder. It's gonna, y'all thought George Floyd was gonna send it up. If you took my life right now, you're gonna see something you never saw. So we might as well have a conversation.
And they pointed to Michael, the guy who could not pay me for months after taking care of him.
Listen to this. Michael Jackson, who owned half of Sony, after the end of his days, couldn't even pay his doctor. The doctor who supposedly killed him, right, supposedly gave him the hot shot, right, said Michael Jackson couldn't even pay him to take care of him. Think about this. The man who owns Sony, the Beatles catalog, right, who wrote a check for somebody for $500 million, who owned a farm, who owned them everything. At the end of his life, he was broke, right? And he was penniless. Think about this. The person that was advocating for these record companies to treat their artists right, that most of the artists that worked hard their whole life died penniless. And he was advocating that, trying to get Al Sharpton out there, going to the black community, asking the black community to get behind him, right? He died penniless. The doctors say he couldn't even pay me. Why would I kill him, right? And he couldn't even pay me. I was doing it as a friend. I wasn't doing it as a fan, or I wasn't doing it for the money, because he said, I don't know if this is true, he said Michael Jackson had paid him in months. Right? So the person who was advocating about racism inside of Sony Music, inside of the entertainment industry, the person was advocating, right? The person that was actually doing it, the person that owned half of Sony, the person that owned Beatles, the person that was breaking all these music record charts. I mean, hit after hit, album after album. Now he's independent. He's a free artist. He took half our money. He died penniless.
And they said that he could not pay for the popsicles his daughters were using, the toilet paper that they were using to wipe their private areas.
Said Michael Jackson couldn't even pay for toilet paper. He couldn't pay for the popsicles that his daughter was eating. Right? So when Kanye West and Michael Jackson and Prince was talking about how the Jewish community or the entertainment business, you know what I'm saying, or these executives eat your ass up, right? And throw you up, use you, and then dispose of you, and you end up broke. You end up broke. They said Michael Jackson couldn't even afford toilet paper.
It is the day before Michael Jackson's death.
Right? Look at the day before Michael Jackson died, right? Look at him before he was dead. The day before he was dead, look at him.
And he is under the lights in full makeup and dancing up a storm.
That he was penniless. I was shocked.
Why are you
I
so
would
sure?
never, ever think differently. Because first of all, Michael told me that they were going to murder him.
The jury saw this image of Michael, and they saw this one too.
The evidence in this case will show that Michael Jackson trusted his life to the medical skills of Conrad Murray.
Right? Who Kanye Murray took the downfall, right? Somebody had to be the downfall. Somebody had to take the downfall, right? Blame the nigga, right? Blame the nigga. We're going to give him some money and probably all of that, right? But blame the nigga. Let him go for jail for manslaughter. Don't give him that much time, you know what I'm saying, to give his ass a couple of $1 million, you know what I'm saying, because it's nothing to us, right? It's nothing to us to give somebody a couple of $1 million to take this downfall. You know, it's nothing.
And it was that time when Michael came to me trembling and trying to get me away from the AG official, who was Randy Phillips. I was shocked out of state. I should have just picked my bags up and leave had I been looking for money. But it wasn't money. It was about the love of Michael.
He was afraid. He was afraid for his life.
Murder him?
The people that were involved in his life, the people that were controlling him.
What happened during that time frame is that the acts and the omissions of Michael Jackson's personal doctor, Conrad Murray, directly led to his premature death at the age of 50.
Where people come into your life, wiggle their way in, control you, manipulate, control your funds, your finances, everything that you have, and you must do what they tell you to do.
That is what Conrad Murray is seeing and observing. And what does he do with that knowledge? He orders 40 of the 100 milliliter bottles of propofol just 2 days after that recording was made.
That is Michael Jackson's voice. Slurred speech recorded on Conrad Murray's iPhone a month before he died.
When people leave my show, I want to say, I've never seen nothing like this in my life.
Michael Jackson was fucked up. He was murdered. He was murdered. You can't speak out against that. He was murdered. Did you hear that? The people that controlled his money, controlled his finances, then you had to do what they told you to do. Do this show, do this. Because remember, Michael Jackson was dead broke after in his career. So everything he was doing was trying to get his money back. All this touring and stuff like that was trying to get his money back because he was broke. He was broke. He had to do this. He had to over exude himself. You know what I'm saying? He had to do all that because he needed the money. Because the people around him stripped him from owning half of Sony to owning the Beatles catalog to not being able to buy toilet paper.
That's what Michael was going through. And he knew that everything that was happening to him was not kosher. It wasn't right. And it disturbed him greatly.
He died so rapidly, so instantly. He didn't even have time to close his eyes.
According to the defense, it was Jackson who delivered the final fatal dose of a sedative and propofol.
Right? The doctor said he done it himself, right? The doctor said he done it himself. Maybe somebody else done it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think the doctor was, unless he got paid. We don't know who done it. But it's mighty strange, though, ain't it?
Michael Jackson self-administered a perfect storm in his body.
On the morning of April 21st, 2016, a man walks up to the front door of one of Minnesota's landmark sites, Paisley Park, the home of Prince.
Shit. I forgot
His
to take
name
the mute
is
off.
Andrew Kornfeld, and he's the son of a prominent rehab therapist in California, on his way to treat Prince.
Right? Both, I accidentally pushed mute, right? Both of them died the exact same way, right? You know what I'm saying? Both of these people are music moguls, right? Both of them have power inside of the music industry. One was fighting against freedom, you know what I'm saying, from record contracts and distribution companies and stuff like that, and one was fighting for fair treatment because they was raping people for they were raping people for they were raping people for their money, right? They were raping people for their money. They were raping artists, you know what I'm saying? The people, the old school artists, people who retired, they were dying penniless, right? So they both died for the things they advocated for. Michael Jackson died penniless, right? And Prince died an independent artist. Think about it. The thing Michael Jackson was fighting for, the advocacy, right, of artists, right, not being properly, properly given their fair share of what they've earned, right, and independent writing, music, dancing, and trips and albums, like I said, recording everything, music videos and all that, work like a slave, and they died penniless, and their kids got to get jobs. Think about this. The people who make the money off of them, the executive, their kids not getting no job. Like Kanye West said, their kids not getting no job. The people that sign the front of the checks, that sign these contracts, right? Their kids not working, right? But the artists that make all this money, right? Their kids are broke. The artists are broke. And that's what Michael Jackson was advocating, right? Prince advocating we don't need contracts. We making these people money and we don't need it. We can be independent and we can make just as much money or probably more money being independent. He has to go. They both died, right, for something they believed in.
Andrew Kornfeld is put on a red eye from California to the Twin Cities. He wants to talk to Prince and see if he can convince Prince to get clean off the opiates that he seems to be on.
Right? They sent a think about this. They sent a specialist on a plane, right, to talk to Prince about the opium he was on. Like, we need to talk to you about the drugs you on, right? Think about this, right? Mysteriously, right? They had to send somebody, like was a record producer, some kind of specialist, to talk to Prince. Hey, we need to talk to you, Prince. After he was already poisoned on a plane. We need to talk to you, Prince. Can we talk to you? Can we holler at you, Prince? And so he's supposed to meet with this dude, right? Prince alive when he's supposed to meet with this dude.
But even as Kornfeld waits inside Paisley Park to meet Prince, in an almost Shakespearean tragedy, the 57-year-old superstar's dead body is found on the floor next to an elevator.
Right? When somebody magically come to see him about his so-called opium addiction, right? He just so happened, while he waiting in the damn living room or whatever, right? Prince just so happened to die. Prince just so happened to die the day he was fit to get some help on his opioid addiction. Same thing they said about Michael Jackson. Opioid addiction. You mean the two most powerful black men in the music industry probably ever both died from opium overdoses?
Looked like he was dying from AIDS.
The stunning news of Prince's untimely death hits the public like a tsunami. Seismic shockwaves of grief and disbelief wash over the legendary performer's legion of fans all over the world.
How did you feel when you heard the news today?
Devastated.
It was just horrifying.
No, case closed.
Why did they want him dead now?
See, you ask me shit that I don't qualify to answer.
You dumb motherfucker, you asking me shit I don't qualify to answer. Why you think they wanted Prince dead? You know why they wanted him dead. Everybody know why they wanted him dead. He was too powerful of a figure. He was too powerful of a man. They wanted him and Michael Jackson dead. And guess what? They got it accomplished. Huh? The two men, right, that threatened, right? Both of them independent. Remember, Michael Jackson a free agent and Prince a free agent. The two people, right, the two music artists that sold probably the most music albums ever in the history of music. In the history of music. How they both died at an early age of drug overdoses. Huh? And everybody close to him like, man, that was murder. Huh? Think about it. They both was, oh, we got to talk about your drug addiction. They both was died supposedly junkies. Huh? The two black biggest entertainers ever, right, supposedly died as junkies, right? So your last vision of the so-called, I mean, not the so-called, the two biggest entertainers, right, in black entertainment history died as junkies. What other is the word? They said Prince died from AIDS. They said all kind of shit, right? What other worst way a black man can die, right? As a junkie, as a drug addict, right? That's gonna be your last memories of Prince and Michael Jackson. They both died because they overdosed on drugs. Huh? And that one of the coldest ways to remember a so-called legend? Huh? A black legend. His last memories of him or how he died, right? And his legacy is he OD'd on some dope. The doctor poisoned him. He was doing too much drugs. He had a problem. That was Michael Jackson. On Prince, his drug habit was so bad, right? They had somebody come talk to him. We're gonna have a specialist come and talk to him because Prince's drug habit was so bad.
The idea that he would succumb to the same thing that had taken so many other artists, that was shocking.
Okay.
Why did they want him dead now? Huh?
I'm asking.
Because the white folks that killed him, they're not like niggas and ignorant white folk. I'll kill you, motherfucker. They do it 10 years later.
Huh? They do it 10 years later. They couldn't kill Mike or Prince right away. You know what I'm saying? That would have been horrible. So what you do? You do a build up, right? You give him a reputation. He's a drug addict. He's doing dope, right? That way, when he dies, it wouldn't be no suspicious. They can't kill him immediately, like you say. They're not no dumb niggas. They're not finna kill you immediately. What happens when niggas kill niggas immediately, like the dude from the Migos? I hate you, nigga. Boom, boom, boom. They don't do that. They kill you slowly. After they take all your money. Huh? They take all your money and then they kill you.
To get to the bottom of that mystery, police go through every room of the once off-limits estate, and they find bottles filled with pills bearing that stamp, Watson 853. Remember, those were the same opioid pills he had with him during that overdose crisis in Moline.
Now, if I had to guess, I think when he went into that record company and talked to them folk with that slave thing on it, that's what got him killed.
Huh? That's what got him killed. Remember, he already supposed to overdose, right? On the plane. He was on the plane when the plane had to land and all that shit, right? He was on the plane when he first got poisoned on the shit. He died 2 days later after that, but he was on the plane when he first got poisoned, went to the hospital, you know what I'm saying? They done their thing, brought him back to life, and he died 2 days later.
We had a lot of pills that were scattered around, and the Watson 853 is stamped on these pills. And so Watson 853 can be a legitimate pain reliever, similar to Vicodin.
But then a huge shock. The coroner's report comes out and reveals that, in fact, Prince did die from an overdose.
But guess what overdose he died from, y'all? Guess what he had in his system? Guess what the king, right? Pop, right? I mean, the king of, I don't know what you call king of instrument, whatever the hell, he the king of something, right? But what do you think was in his system, y'all? What did Prince overdose from? It wasn't a pain medication, right? It was.
But the culprit was something that took everyone by surprise, a drug called fentanyl.
Prince died from a fentanyl overdose. Most people didn't know that, right? Prince thought he was taking a painkiller, right? But it was fentanyl. Who snuck Prince a bottle of fentanyl, right? Ain't that poisoning? We all know that's murder. You can't get that. If that's prescription, he didn't order prescription and they gave him fentanyl, right? That is murder, right? Well, I mean, if somebody gets served some fentanyl right now, ain't that murder? Nobody went to jail, right, for giving Prince fentanyl. Nobody, no investigation, nobody knew where it came from, right? None of that. He was supposedly high on so much dope, somebody had to come talk to him, right? He almost died on a plane. It had to be an emergency landing. They pumped his stomach. He got back. He done a performance, right? He done a performance. Went home, talked to some people, right? Supposedly this dude supposed to came and saw him, right? And he was coming downstairs and he died on the elevator. First time he was supposed to die was on the plane. Brought him back to life. He performed and everything. Right? He died of a fentanyl overdose. Everyone knows, right? Since we got a little history on it, right? And we've done seen a little experience on it, right? Everyone knows fentanyl is murder. We know how much you can take. We know how they poison people. We know all that, right? But this happened 7 years ago when people wasn't really knowing about fentanyl overdoses and fentanyl poisons and shit like that. Prince died from a fentanyl overdose. Murder. Michael Jackson, according to LaToya Jackson, murdered.
And he kept saying it over and over and over again. Yes, Dr. Murray was the fall guy, but it's more to it than just that.
Kill no nigga for no money. Ain't nothing but chump change he got.
He named names. He told me people. He told me to be careful of this one and that one. And in the beginning, I didn't, it's not that I didn't believe him.
Who were the people that he was saying?
Chump change.
So, like a lot of people are saying, he had gotten the rights to his recordings.
I got the what?
The rights to his master recordings.
Well, they tell you that so you can repeat it. How you know?
How'd you know? They told you you got the masters of recording. How'd you know? Right? When Prince died, think about this. When Prince died, they said he left no will. Right? Guess who got his masters? Guess who got his recordings? If he left no will. Michael Jackson died penniless. When Prince died, his estate went to the record company. Because they said Prince had no will. Think about this, y'all. Think about this. The two most successful artists in the world, one died penniless and one died without a will and didn't leave his estate to nobody. You mean to tell me Prince wanted to leave his estate to the same people he said enslaved him? Huh? Can anybody answer me that question? There's no way Prince had an estate. He had siblings. He had a god sister. I mean, a half sister. He had siblings. I mean, 6 people had to fight over the estate, right? 6 years later, you know what I'm saying? Some people got it, you know, and some people sold it. They fucked it over, right? But the bank got most of Prince's estate. The bank got it. The same people that Prince was saying enslaved him, when Prince died, is the same people that got his estate. Right? The same people, Sony, right, who Michael Jackson retired from it, and became a free agent is the same company that got most Michael Jackson masters. You do the math.
What was your reaction when you realized that it was fentanyl?
Well, I looked it up. I had to go Google it. What is this drug? What is it? I had no idea.
People that surrounded themselves around him, people that worked with him, people that were with him the last days.
He had said it.
Huh?
He had said it. His lawyers.
How you know that was him? How you know who the fucking lawyers was? Huh?
Specific name?
Michael wasn't capable of doing these shows that he was supposed to do. Michael only agreed to do 10, and it's because they had him on such a tight rope.
Huh? Because why? Because Michael was bankrupt. He was supposed to do this many, but they forced him to do this many, right? He was on a tight rope, right? And he know he had to do that many. Why? Because Michael Jackson was flat broke, penniless, in order to pay his rent. Remember, it was all in the news. Michael Jackson might have to sell Never Neverland. Michael Jackson might have to sell this. Michael Jackson might have to sell his coat. Michael Jackson might have to sell his monkey. Every time you looked on, Michael Jackson had to sell some shit or he was losing shit. That was all by design. And after he lost everything, he died of a drug overdose.
I knew something terrible would happen at the end, not to mention the fact that Michael constantly told me, Latoya, if I die, they're going to murder me. They're going to kill me.
You can't be curious out of ignorance.
Okay.
Huh?
All right. So
I just told you what I thought.
But that begs the...
He thought they killed the nigga. Like, don't get me curious out of ignorance. I just told you what I thought. I ain't saying it's reality. I just told you what I thought. Dude was scared, like, you know what, old man, this nigga about to kill me. He about to stab me or something. This nigga's for real. Right? He said Prince walked in with that slave shit, right? Got out the contract, became independent. He had to go. Huh? He was poisoned. That wasn't an accident. Right? That wasn't an accident. He didn't accidentally pick up some drugs. Prince didn't accidentally buy no street drug that was fentanyl. It's a street fentanyl. We now know is a street drug. We know that now. There's no way that Prince was taking fentanyl when he supposed to have been taking painkillers or whatever. Who gave Prince the fentanyl?
Begs the question, how in the world did Prince obtain this incredibly powerful drug?
He would tell me that, Barbara, and that's when Michael passed. When I found out he had actually passed, I said, no, it wasn't an accident. He was murdered.
The startling answer came after investigators tested a sampling of those pills confiscated at Paisley Park. It was revealed that they were not legitimate prescription painkillers at all. They're actually counterfeits, laced with fentanyl instead of the real ingredient.
You hear that? A whole bottle of fentanyl. So Prince is gonna die regardless. I mean, as soon as he took one of them pills out of that bottle, he was dead. Anybody who would have took any pill bottle out, any pill out of that bottle would have been dead. Prince or whoever. They don't know who gave Prince the bottle. You tell me, y'all. You tell me. They know what happened to Michael Jackson. Somebody took the downfall for him when he's supposed to be overdosed. Who taking the downfall for Prince? Because we know that's poison. We know that's an illegal street drug. We know when you give somebody that, they're poisoned. They're not going to reopen the case? Was it his doctor? Was it a street pharmacist? What was it? Why they never investigated it? Why nobody been held responsibility for poisoning Prince? These are illegal drugs designed to look like painkillers, but they're fentanyl. Not only Prince, anyone who took one of these pills would have fucking died.
That Watson 853 imprint a complete fake.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But they're gonna tell you the motherfucker didn't have no insurance, no will, but they got motherfuckers do his hair before he go out on stage.
Your brother was murdered. I always believed that from day one.
He wouldn't have taken a pill like that at all had he known. But if you're taking it for pain, then you think you're going to get healed, and you're not. You're going to die first.
Huh? Do you hear what she's saying? I mean, they even back then they didn't know the seriousness of fentanyl, I guess, right? But I'm pretty sure she kind of figured out you're taking it for pain, but it's not for pain. You're going to die first. That's before they knew that's before we knew the pill swapping and all this shit was really big. Somebody poisoned Prince. She don't know. The police ain't said, right? Or nobody. No one knows how Prince got these pills. And we all know why.
And it's not just Prince. Many other unsuspecting Americans have fallen prey to black market counterfeit pills containing fentanyl instead of the actual ingredient.
Like Prince was gonna buy something off the black market. Huh? Prince gonna buy some pills off the black market, y'all.
Everything from fake painkiller pills like oxycodone and Percocet to Xanax.
If you hate all your family, you do what that woman did, the billionaire woman in New York, Hemsley, left it to her goddamn dog.
And supposedly, Prince left it to nobody, but the record company. Like he said, if you don't give a damn about nobody, you're gonna leave it to a damn dog. The billionaire left all that money to the dog. Like you would have shit in everybody's face. You're not gonna leave it to the same people who enslaved you. Murder, murder, murder.
Motherfucker twist the back of his clothes, make sure ain't no lint on it, but they can convince you he didn't have no goddamn. But y'all can't even see that because these crackers told you about the nigga. Huh?
I said, I'm not going to accept anything else, Barbara. They could have told me a heart attack. They could have told me he had fallen off a ladder, and I would have said, no, it's not a heart attack. He was murdered.
You said that he gave himself the drugs. You believe he gave himself the final fatal dose.
The premises cannot be breached. It wasn't breached. There was no one else in the house, in the upper chambers, but Michael and myself. I was away from him. The phone records shows that.
He was away from him. The phone record shows that. So it was supposed to be him, but we don't know who else was in the house or who else could have came in the house. That's what he's saying. I was away from the house. He had to do it to himself because the phone record shows I wasn't even there. He got charged with something. He wasn't even there. Somebody else could have been there.
Important thing, the plane he was on is owned by Warren Buffett. He's the one who rented the planes.
Huh? Warren Buffett plane. Prince got poisoned on a Warren Buffett plane. Think about it. How Prince get poisoned on a plane that's owned by Warren Buffett? He didn't die, but that's the first time he got sick, and the plane had to land. It was on a Warren Buffett owned plane. What happened? What did they give him? Did they give him something on the plane? Did he first get a pain pill on the plane, and he got sick, and they took him they took him to the emergency room, and they gave him some Narcan, and he woke up, and he was fine. Then 2 days later, he died. Think about it. Right? The first attempt at him almost dying was in plane coming from a concert. They had to do emergency landing, right? They went and gave him some narco, woke him up, he was fine. That's when they supposedly found out he had a drug addiction. Right? Because they had to wake him up was the whatever the hell, the narco. They had to wake him up with the narco. He gets on the plane, he's perfectly fine, right? Perfectly fine. Then the next thing you know, 2 days later, he dead of an overdose of poison.
He circulated supposedly a Prince riding a bicycle and waiting outside of a Walgreens.
It was after he came back from Atlanta. Day before he died, outside the compound. And you didn't see no crowds around the motherfucker. Hey, Prince. Huh? Then who in the fuck is TMZ?
They're owned by Time Warner.
And who the fuck is Time Warner?
They owned by the Jews. Aha! You see that connection? You see that? Who is TMZ? They owned by Jews. I mean, you know, they were owned by NBC. They owned by Jews, right? The person who the main person on TMZ is a Jew. You see what they saying? Manipulation of the media. Manipulation of the media. They can put out whatever they want to, right? They think he was poisoned. I mean, you think he just OD'd on accident with no will? He had to be murdered. When you're a voice, when you speak out, when you talk about independence and you speak out, you're going to be murdered. That's why Kanye West got to watch his back, because they'll pay somebody to do something to him quick. You know what I'm saying? They pay somebody to do something quick because that's how they work. If not, if they don't do it fast, guess what? They'll do it slow. And that's what they're doing to Kanye West. They're trying to kill him slow because they're going to get him eventually. They got everybody else. They undefeated. They got Eazy-E. They got Tupac. These sons of bitches undefeated. You're not going to get the message out. They got Martin Luther King. They got Malcolm X. They got Larry Hoover. They are undefeated. They got Johnny Cochran. Huh? They're undefeated. They're undefeated. So think about this, right? So when you say Kanye West is crazy, Kanye West don't know what the fuck he talking about. If that's the case, Michael Jackson don't know what he talking about. IQ don't know what he talking about. Prince don't know what he talking about. Right? And I have to take their words because who else would know more about this than them? Who else would know more about contracts than Prince and Michael Jackson? Who would know more about independence than Michael Jackson and Prince? Who would know more about other artists being screwed by the industry than Michael Jackson and Prince? Now it's Kanye. They done passed on the torch. Kanye speaking from the ghosts of Prince and Michael Jackson. Because it's like any other black leader, right? They're going to kill you. Prince and Michael Jackson was a voice. Tupac was a voice. They was black leaders in the black community, right? Just like the other dude on the six, I forgot his name. He was also R&B. I forgot that soul singer name. They got a Netflix special about him, but he also was Louis, whatever, something like that, right? But he got Netflix, but he also was an activist. His ass is dead too. All of them died at an early age, right? Tragically. Right? So that's why I say Kanye better watch out. Because you can't play with these people money like that. They would kill for their money. The two biggest names ever saying, we don't need you. We don't want your racist ways. And we're going to talk about your racist way. We don't need you. You signed us into these contracts, which is a slave contract. I'm going to tell people how to get out of this slavery. Imagine how much money the Jewish community would have lost, right? If people went, if artists went independent, start uniting, start coming up with their own distribution, right? Imagine how much the Jewish community fucked up. You wanted a lawyer to go over contracts. You wanted a lawyer to fight over disputes. None of that. But if you're in their way, just like Jesus, they would kill you. You don't think they would have done something to Donald Trump if they could? Huh? It's the same party over and over again. Just like when I done that so-called Jesus, it's the same party. It's the same people. The same people. And that's what's sick about it. That's what's sick. Right? It's this, and I'm kind of in the industry, you know what I'm saying? But you have to basically do what these people say, or they don't give you the opportunity because they control everything. It got to be some kind of way that can be broke up and people can be independent, right? And distribute their own stuff and write their own contracts, do their own bidding and do that, you know what I'm saying? It has to be some type of way. But the two people who preach that shit is dead. The person who now preaching that shit is now considered crazy, right? They're going to turn your people against you, then they're going to kill your ass. If they don't kill you, they'll have somebody else do it for them. It's been proven time and time again. You're looking at the donation 160. Look at 160. Look at this right here. Let me see something right. You look at the donation 160. Let me see this. Let me see something. You want to get one of these shirts right here? Let me see. You want to get one of these shirts? 160 got one. 160, the first person. You know what I'm saying, to get one of these shirts right here. 160, shout out to 160 for the first person to get one of these shirts right here. Huh? These next shirts, right? These next. What? Get looking out. See that? Oh! Get your next 2024. Get looking out 160. Get your Donald Trump Black Rose, you know what I'm saying? You get your reparations letter with it too, you know what I'm saying? You get your reparations letter too. But when you want to order one to send me the PayPal, you know what I'm saying? $30, that includes shipping and handling. I got the hats and all that shit, right? So if you want one, you want a hoodie, you want a show set, you want any of that, you want to look ghetto, you want to look hood, it goes with everything, you know what I'm saying? Go with the white person, you know what I'm saying? Or you want to look hood with it, it don't matter, you know what I'm saying? Look at that background right there, you know what I'm saying? With a fire in the background, you know what I'm saying? All this, and look at this peaceful background. You can wear it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You're going to stand out too. You can stand out in the crowd too. You're going to stand out like I stand out in this crowd, right? He's standing out all by himself. You're going to stand out, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be representing, you know what I'm saying? Trump 2024, you know, is the shit, right? You know what I'm saying? We stole your aviators because you stole something from us, right? Huh? We stole your aviators. We coming to see, can you see us? Huh? Can you see us? We in your rear view face glass mirrors, nigga. Huh? Can you see it? Anyway, I want to thank y'all for coming out. You know what I'm saying? And I hope y'all enjoyed the show. But I want y'all to know Kanye is fucking right. I'm not racist. I'm not against Jewish people. I just report the facts how I see them. If it's against gay people, if it's against Asians, if it's against blacks, white, Jews, Mexicans, whoever it's against, that's what I can report the news on. This was some true shit, right? This was fact-based and all of those stuff, you know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson died, bro. Both of them was advocating, you know what I'm saying? It made them, the media made them look like fools. All these people was talking about individual people. They was talking about people as a whole. They was talking about groups, you know what I'm saying? They was talking about the manipulation. All of them was talking about racism. All of them was talking about the so-called and they was all being called anti-Semitic, right? But they was all fighting to voice an opinion and give a voice of what the certain group of people have been doing to another group of people. And who would you listen to? Would you listen to a nigga on the street? Or would you listen to a billionaire and millionaires? Right? Kanye West got money right now, but like Michael Jackson and like Prince, right? They're trying to take his money, and you can't bank here, and you can't do this, and we're going to lose this contract, we're going to sue this, and we're going to sue that. They're trying to make him penniless, because before they kill you, as you saw with Prince, and you saw with Michael Jackson, before they kill you, they're going to take your money. Huh? They're going to take your money, right? So anyway, if you feel like you like this video and you want to donate, go ahead and donate. I'm going to leave the damn description in the bottom. See y'all later, alligators, and I'm out this some of my bitch.